There's a priest, a rabbi, and a scientist arguing about when life begins. Priest says life begins at conception. Scientist says life begins at birth. Rabbi says life begins when the dog dies and the kids move out.
I think you just gave us the opening to this episode.
Hi, I'm Mark Bagley. Welcome to my home. I'll be drawing Spider-Man and Venom for you today. I was drawing all the time. So I was the weird one in the basement drawing away on Saturday nights while my brothers were out doing, things I really wanted to do but had no social skills to do at that time. And then I ran into Marvel Comics and I fell in love with it. And this was back in the day when they were like 10 cents a piece. I'd come home, I'd spend $2 on comics, I had to stack this deep, and I was drawing. I joined the Army so I could go to art school. I did art for the Army Security Agency while I was in Fort Bragg, so I had a top secret clearance. I know who killed JFK. Then I was also working on comics on the side, and I was getting rejection letters. And Marvel came out with the Marvel Tryout Contest, which was a book. Depending upon what you wanted to do, whether you wanted to be an inker or a colorist or whatever, you had to draw 5 or 6 pages. The owner of the bookstore gave it to me. He said, look, if you don't do this, you'll hate yourself. And I won first place out of 19,000 people. 19,900 of were probably 12-year-olds. But the moral of that story is you get your shot, you take it, and you be ready for it. A lot of my career has been, I've just gotten the right break, although I've worked very, very hard for it. That was always in my mind, I wanted to do Spider-Man. So doing Amazing Spider-Man was the thing. That's when I felt like I'd really become the comic artist I always dreamed about being. I got a phone call from somebody at Marvel wanting me to do Ultimate Spider-Man, and I turned it down cold 3 times. But I was always looking for a bit of extra work. I said, fine, I'll do it. And then when the book came out, it was going to be a miniseries, and they decided they were going to make it ongoing. And I said, I didn't want to do it. And my friend Cliff at the bookstore had given me the tryout book. He told me, you need to stay on this book. This thing is hot. And they were happy to have me. Everybody's got their own different process. So I usually work this size, just a rough thumbnail. I find with larger images it's easier to do the perspective and do the proportioning, on a smaller scale than blowing it up. I work non-photo blue, and I basically do the rough sketch with that. And then I go into it with a fairly light pencil, and then I'll start finishing the details in. To me, the fun part of this is telling the story. I think the reason I've had such a long career is because I've never settled on a style. I just draw the way I draw, and it's sort of a natural evolution. So, if you look at how I draw now, what my stuff looks like now, and what I was doing back when I was doing Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, you can tell, okay, that's the same artist, but I think my skills have improved a lot, and I'm just trying to get better. And, my eyes are gonna go, I'm getting a little arthritis here and there, that's what, eventually my skills are gonna diminish. My worry is just getting lazy, getting tired, getting bored. Once you take it for granted, you stop learning. Any page I rough out in just thumbs is 30% different than when I finish it. I did math there. My wife would be impressed.